Jimmy from Cuff and Stuff. Man, we got another good one for you. This one you may not know about. Some of you will. When I was a boy, I grew up and spent a lot of time around my grandparents in the lower part of the state. That's the way they talk down there. But there's a bunch of names. They easily add an extra vowel. This was around the Gullah culture. And one of the things that my grandmother cooked for me that I asked every time I went was red rice. Now, her red rice was more traditional. When you get around Charleston and some other places, red rice is cooked with sausage. She didn't do that. Her red rice was always a side dish, but it was always so good. So we're going to show you how to make it. Look it up if you've never heard of it. It is good stuff. So, hang tight. Okay, well, we've got a pot of canola oil, just a little bit in the bottom, and I want to start with our onions. So we're just going to dump our onion in. That is one fairly large onion, white onion, yellow onion, red onion. You use what you want. This is a yellow onion. I'm going to I want to cook this about halfway. I don't really want to brown these onions, but I want to loosen them up and get them started good. Let them start cooking down a little bit. You see, I'm breaking them up. I don't really have them diced per se, but they're cut pretty good. I'm going to put those in and let them cook for just a minute. Okay, for flavor, while we're cooking our onions, now this oil is just a carrier for the flavors, and we're going to use it too. So what I want to do is I want to add a couple of pinches of salt, black pepper, and garlic. Okay, so all right, just happens I happen to have something that has salt, pepper, and garlic in it. That's Uncle Steve's shake. That's SPG. So since I want about an equal amount of each, that's one, that's two tablespoons. All right, let's stir him in, get those flavors mixing. Now, once you start putting garlic in, you have to be careful because you don't want it to brown. It'll get nasty tasting if you burn your garlic. So you want to keep it dancing. Now, I don't have this too hot. I've got it, let's see. Oh yeah, it's about 300 degrees. That's not too hot. Now, I'm really going to jump forward. I like garlic. I've got a few cloves here that I can take and put a little bit of fresh garlic in the mix too. So I'm going to put 4 or 5 cloves in here with it. And like I said, when you put that garlic in, you want to keep it dancing. You don't want to burn it. Now, these onions are starting to cook down a little bit. They're starting to get a little bit translucent, which is what I want to see. Next, I'm gonna add our tomatoes. Now, I'm gonna put a quart, and this is just a little less than a quart of tomato sauce in this. And I'm gonna stir this tomato sauce in with all of this. Now, I want this tomato sauce to come back to a boil. So we're gonna wait on it, come back to a boil. Okay, she's starting to bubble away. It's not really rolling. Now I've got these are sweet peppers. I prefer those to bell peppers. It just, I don't know, I like the flavor that it adds to it. I'm gonna put these in while this is cooking. So let's bring this back to a boil. All right, one more thing. We've got her bubbling again. One more thing I'm gonna add, and that is I'm gonna add just a little touch of cayenne pepper. I'm gonna call this a pinch. Your pinch size may vary, right? As my buddy says, mileage may vary, so it may vary with you. I can't go real strong with the cayenne pepper because a lot of my family won't eat it. Okay, we have 2 quarts of water, and I have a pot that just will hold that 2 quarts. I'm gonna stir it in. Oh my goodness, yes. Look at this. All right. So I'm gonna turn this down on a medium heat. I want this to come back to a rolling boil before I do that. But I'm gonna let it simmer for, maybe 30 minutes or so. I want all those flavors to shake hands. So I'll bring you back. Okay, we've let our pot simmer. We've brought it back up to a good rolling boil. Next, I'm gonna take, this is about 4 cups, 2 pounds of parboiled rice. And I'm gonna pour this in this catering pan. And I'm gonna take and spread it out nice and pretty. Get all the rice out. Doesn't need to stay in there. All right, so I'm gonna take and I'm gonna spread it out like this. Okay, now let's take and we're gonna stop our pot, and you see she is boiling away. All right, I've had a probe down in it watching my temp, and let's see. All right, let's take and we're going to pour this right over the top of this rice. Now you want to make sure your rice is good and covered. And then we're going to take a spoon and we're going to stir this up. Make sure we got our rice mixed in good. And I'm going to put this on the smoker. I've got the pit boss up to about 350. I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil. I'm going to put it in and I'm going to let it bake about 35 minutes covered up, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, well, we've let this rest, cool off actually a little bit. We did 35 minutes. Oh, look at that. Ah, yeah. Now let's take, I want to fluff this rice up with a fork. And look, see, it's not stuck together. It's not stuck to the sides or the bottom. Oh, this is good. This is good rice. Good stuff. Look at this. And just fluff it up with this fork. Is that pretty? That is red rice. Okay? Now, let's see if we did my grandmother justice. I'm going in. You can see the steam coming off. She's still hot. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I watched this being made as a child. I've never forgotten it. I hope to pass it along to my kids. This is good stuff. You looking for a side dish? Look how much this made. Okay, this was 4 cups of rice, some tomato sauce, onions, peppers. Hey, I even got to sneak Uncle Steve's SPG in there, so you know it's gonna be good stuff, right? Hey, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, how about hitting the circle on this side? I'll have another video just for you right here, right down there. Neither one. Subscribe, watch the video, doesn't cost you a dime. Boop. How about hit the like for me? I'd really appreciate that. Share it with somebody. Hey, until next time, hang tight and be good to one another. Hang tight.